We are here once again on site at the Oshawa Curling Club. Championship Saturday here at the World Financial Group Canadian Junior Cup. Hello everyone, thank you for tuning in as we bring you inside the Oshawa Curling Club for live action. It is the semi-final draw here at the Canadian Junior Cup. A big moment here in the week. First chance that we may see who will be representing Canada at the Swiss Cup later in the new year in February. But for now, before going across the sheets, let's take a look at our feature matchup. And it's going to be a fantastic game here as Team Einspieler representing St. Gallen Flims and Thun out of St. Gallen, Switzerland, facing off against Tori Zemmelink representing the Guelph Curling Club. We'll take a look at the team lineups here as we get going. Representing Team St. Gallen, the lead, Renee Frigo. Second, Jana Helen. Third, Alyssa Rudolph. And the skip, Isabel Einspieler. Their coach, Bridget Brunner. Facing off against them, Team Zemmelink, the lead, Tori Zemmelink. Second, Kaylee Delaney. Vice, Lauren Radula. And their skip is Emma Artichuk. And as we pick up play here in the first end, there was no draw for Hammer. Team Zemmelink finishing their round robin with a 3-0 record. They were the second seed coming into these playoffs today. Versus Team Einspieler with a 2-1 record. They were the sixth seed. I think we're in for a very good matchup here. My name is Matthew Hall. Sitting beside me in the booth is Rob Falds. And Rob, these teams were both on our feature sheet earlier in the week. Team Einspieler defending champions of this event from last year, but I think they're going to have their hands full a little bit, starting without the hammer against a very strong team skipped by Emma Artichuk.
This is the team that has certainly proven its worth throughout the week. Come in at 3-0. They're very strong, very controlled.
And of course mentioned, this may be the draw where something is decided. The grand prize on stake, the highest finishing Canadian team, will win a chance for an all-inclusive paid trip to Switzerland at the end of February to represent Canada at the sister event of the Canadian Junior Cup, the Swiss Cup. Playoffs started this morning with the men's and women's quarterfinals starting. Kicking off, both of these teams winning their quarterfinal matchup. And as we take a look here at the women's bracket, we have Team Johnson out of the United States facing off against Julia Markle. On our feature sheet, we have St. Gallen facing off against Zemmelink. Now, taking a look at that bracket, the teams whose names are in bold are the Canadian teams who are eligible to win that trip to Switzerland. It is the highest finishing Canadian team. So here's the situation. We have Markle against Johnson, Zemmelink against St. Gallen. If both of those teams win or lose, they will face off against each other in either the championship final or the bronze medal game. Winner of that game will receive the trip. If one of those teams wins and the other one loses, then the winner will be declared the representative and automatically win that trip to Switzerland. So the other semifinal on the women's side is playing right beside us on sheet 5. We will keep you updated throughout the entire game on the scoring there so that you know all the information that we do. And when a champion is declared, we'll know right away.
In this first end, everything has gone into the house. So right now it is a very neat and tidy end shaping up for Team Zemmelink. Just exchanging colors right now.
From what we've seen from this Swiss team previously last year, but also this year as well, they aren't afraid to put some rocks in play. I wouldn't expect this strategy to continue on for very long, especially without the hammer. Makes sense. You're in a semifinal of a big championship. You want to get your feet underneath you. I would say by the second end, we might see a center guard go up and get a few more rocks in play.
Well, the first rock went into the house, and they opted then just to play hit, and As you see right now, it's just a matter of exchanging colors, hoping for maybe a slight error, but right now it's on track for a blank.
Now, you might have noticed we did call this team Zemmelink. Starting at the start of the season, their lead, Corey Zemmelink, was the skip in the rings throwing the last rock. They had a team meeting not too long ago, decided that something needed to change. They made a decision. Tori elected to step down to lead, allow Emma to take the reins and throw the last rock. And so now they are they still are listed as Team Artichoke. We may refer to them as Team they're listed as Team Zemmelink. We may refer to them as Team Artichoke throughout the match.
I got 10 on your last.
I think that's a great sign of a team player there to understand that maybe that first half of the season not going quite the way you would have liked it to, and to be able to give up the reins like that and elect to step down to a different position and still do everything you can to help the team is something to be commended.
Well, you go with the hot hand too, and if you're seeing one player just have a better touch, then you lean that way. You go where the strength is on the team.
You can't argue with the results. An undefeated round robin. Finished off with a great win in the quarterfinals over Team Anishki this morning in 7 ends. Seem to be clicking quite well here.
Yeah. They are.
As mentioned, this Swiss squad are the defending champions of this event. The Swiss Cup works in a very similar way to this event, where the top finishing Swiss team wins the chance to come over to Canada, compete in the Canadian Junior Cup. So we did have a men's and a women's Swiss team here this week. So this team out of Switzerland has actually won the Swiss Cup, came over here, won the Canadian Junior Cup last year, went back to Switzerland, won the Swiss Cup again to earn the right to come back here, and now with a very good chance to repeat as champions here as well.
Where's Carl? It's good. Whoa. 11. Yeah. Salut. Okay, I'll be patient with it. Yeah. Schnell ist ja gewesen. Schluss, wir jetzt schon noch nicht. Tschüss. Gut so. Schluss, mach jetzt noch ein bisschen was. Ja.
And we do have a full set of 8 games out here this afternoon. All 8 sheets being used. We do have the U21 men's and women's semifinal. There is a U18 division as well. So we do have semifinal matches going on in both of those divisions. Plenty of curling here this afternoon. We'll have a full 6 sheets later on tonight during the finals for all the championship and consolation finals as well. We'll keep you updated with score updates and playoff and trip implications from all the divisions as we move forward in this draw.
No roll. 10-5. Yep. Wir machen die Innenrolle. Ja. Nochmal Kies.
Fairly straightforward end here, Rob, but quite impressed. Haven't seen any rollouts or anything like that. Both of these teams seem very ready to go here.
Nochmal Kies.
Right off the gun.
Einspieler would just like to see this
I think
rock
so,
a
yeah.
little
No, I
bit
think
and just
that's fine.
change
We'll
the
just trade up
aspect for
items.
the Canadian team. Pins like this, though, allow both teams to bank some time.
Ja, Linie!
A little more thinking time as they move along. 33 minutes of thinking time.
Oh, Linie! Go, René, go. Wow! Good job.
That's what they wanted to do, roll to the other side.
Myself back. Okay. So, ein bisschen weiter Index. Also,
This is a note that we made while watching Team Artichoke in the round robin. Broom coming down a lot tighter than maybe some of the other teams we see. They do have very, I'll say, aggressive release, slightly back to the outside edge of the broom. So sometimes that broom comes down and you get a little worried for them, but somehow they end up making it work.
That sounds familiar. Sounds like a Canadian team that plays that same way, a team Rachel Holman.
Hä?
So Emma Artichuk with the final stone here in the first, looking for the blank. Lauren Radula on the inside trying to hold it.
They get the roll. They do.
So it'll roll out of play. Nice clean end here to start in our women's semifinal. Blank on the board, 0.
Peace of mind, the life you want, and financial independence. At World Financial Group, we believe your path to any of these goals is paved by financial knowledge. That's why our agents spend every day empowering individuals and families of all backgrounds with the knowledge to create the life they want. No matter your financial goals, WFG can help you own your future. Visit worldfinancialgroup.com to learn more.
And as mentioned, our men's championship playoffs began this morning as well. They have semifinals going on. But taking a look at the bracket, it is Team Prenevost versus Garner. And on the other side, we have Team Ibert against Team Hocevar. Now, once again, take a look at those names that are bolded. Prenevost, Garner, and Hocevar are all in play for that trip to Switzerland. So, essentially, we'll keep a close eye on that Ibert-Hocevar match. If Ibert wins that game, then the winner of Prenevost and Garner will immediately know that they are the representatives to represent Canada at the Swiss Cup. If Team Hocevar beats Team Ibert, then whoever wins the other semifinal will play them in the championship match for that spot.
Einspieler again, rolling first rock into the house. And Team Zemmelink is going to go after it again.
Okay. 11.
Team Zemmelink, maybe a slightly different kind of strategy than the Swiss. I think they are more than content to continue this for as long as possible. Keep the score low, keep control over the hammer. Bit surprised
The
to
Brendan
see.
Botcher method.
Exactly, yes.
Yep.
Bit surprised to see another end going into the bank here for the Swiss.
Oh. Easy.
Of course, they can't
Easy,
continue
but-
this forever. At some point, we're going to see a center guard up.
We'll
We'll
have to
see
see
some
a
rocks
guard
in play.
or two.
Get another look here at Tori Zemmelink. Throwing the lead stones for the team. She does hold the broom for Emma Artichuk still in the rings. Psychology and biology student at Guelph University.
Hard kills. Nice. Hard kills.
And it's amazing. I feel like I've said it every draw how much experience there is on a lot of these teams at such a young age. We talked about the Swiss with their success at the Swiss Cup, the Canadian Junior Cup. Alyssa Rudolph has been to the mixed doubles world and played at the Youth Olympic Games with Jana Helen. On the Zemmelink side, they're no slouches either. We've got Youth Olympic Games, we've got Canadian champions, Ontario Winter Games champions, Canada Winter Games champions. We even have an 8-ender in there somewhere. Plenty of experience to draw from, and I think that's going to pay dividends and hopefully mean that we are going to have quite the game to watch here in this semi whenever they decide to put some rocks in play. Second stones for Team Artichuk is Kaylee Delaney, nursing student out of Algonquin University.
Hard, Lauren. Roll. 10-5.
It's really critical that these teams continue to stick around on these hits. Now, it may seem like, well, it's a wide open end. Who cares? If you roll out, they're just going to probably throw it in. We'll play for the blank. Even if they throw a guard, we'll just peel it. But I think it really is important to continue to execute shots at a high level, especially in these situations. Of course, you never want to have a lapse in judgment and have a complete flash or something like that, but Any sort of rollout gives the other team the opportunity to maybe play a free draw, bank some draw weight, and get a feel for it in their back pocket that might end up working out for them later. Or even just end up banking more time for later as well. So Kaylee Delaney with her second one here.
Clean. 10. Yep. 10. Yep. 10. Good. Sorry.
Einspieler looking for a roll to the other side.
This way.
17-year-old Alyssa Rudolph throwing the third stones. Communications student.
Click, girl. 7. Spread. Just nose.
Lauren Rajala, Canadian champion at the junior and U18 level, Canada Winter Games champion, Youth Olympic Games participant. She was actually selected to be the Canadian flag bearer at the Youth Olympic Games closing ceremonies a number of years ago.
Now that rolls out. Einspieler goes to the other side of the house.
And this is what I mean, that slight rollout might not matter in the grand scheme of things, but what it does do is it gives Alyssa Rudolph this chance at a free draw to the forefoot. Now if she needs to make that draw again in a couple ends or a little bit later in this game, something that she can draw back on.
15. Wow, weg. Right, easy. Big roll over there.
Ja, Jana, das heißt nicht mehr.
Weiter.
Ha.
15. Schöne Länge. What's she saying? Take it. Viel. Ja. Kann man raus, oder? Ja. So ist noch gut.
Spät.
Corners next end.
Ja.
Das ist 11.
Ja.
Nothing wrong with it.
Ja.
Oh, yes. No, ist gut.
As we move on to the skip stones here, Isabel Einspieler progressing well once again towards a blank here in this second end.
Yep. Hard.
Swiss team silver medalist at the Swiss national national junior championships last year.
Good, Turkish.
And with all those accolades I've been talking about, and silver at their junior championships last year, you might think, well, they must be getting to the end of their junior career. Their oldest player is 19. We have a 16-year-old, a 17-year-old, an 18-year-old, and a 19-year-old. So still 2 to 3, and even 4 years for some of them looking ahead in the junior ranks. Plenty of time to add to those trophy cabinets.
Ja. Wie schnell schaffst du? 2,6.
Gut, ist halt Mitte, aber ich finde jetzt schon, also irgendwie.
Ja, wir hätten auch gut können heben. Also.
Ja, selbst schon, aber es ist irgendwie trotzdem komisch gelaufen. Oh,
Also das habe ich zumindest wie eine komische...
oh, oh, Kaylee. Hard, Kale. Hard. Any roll, take the roll. Go, Lauren.
Die roll.
11.
Ja.
So. Steht nochmal. Ja, 11 ist gut, oder?
Ja.
11.
I think that hair song.
Okay, bring it.
We could, yeah. Just as
Feel like after
They
this we might have a
entered on
slow
that.
back half to the game, Rob. These teams are going to have plenty of time
Crazy.
banks to figure out what
We're,
they
like,
want to
on the
do.
mark.
yeah,
Panicking.
yeah.
To keep this up, we'll be done by 4.
10-5.
Alyssa Rudolph in the house holding the broom for Isabel. Ooh. Just had a slight spill from one of the players over on the other sheets. Appears to be okay.
Landed on the stride.
Yeah.
Good.
So another very quick end here,
Got
and
it.
another blank opportunity.
Es ist ein bisschen langweiliges Spiel hier. He? Gehen wir
An
Center
artichoke
noch.
once again. In turn blank attempt.
Ja.
Wo du gespielt hast, ist so viel passiert. Da kommt ein Stein überall. Das ist ein Ring dort hineingefallen, eine. Und das ist ja geil.
Also ich glaube, er hat auf der Besserkeit oder schon umgekehrt.
Emma Artichoke. Kaylee Delaney on the inside. Lauren Radula on the out.
Need this to roll away, and it will
Go.
disappear. So another blank.
Toss it up on the board. No score so far
And
here in this women's
Mama
semifinal
Cinto.
matchup at the Canadian.
When it comes to the game we love, having the right gear makes all the difference.
Gold Line's new curling shoes and brooms are a game changer.
The shoes, unbelievably comfortable. And the brooms, lightweight and effective, giving you control on every sweep.
When I step onto the ice, I'm not just prepared, I look sharp.
Have you seen these shoes? They are a game changer.
And the brooms, light as a feather.
It's a Gold Line.
It's a Gold Line.
It's a gold line.
And is the choice of champions.
Sehr schau ich nach.
Picking up, we see the between end clock there just running down to 0. Renee Frigo in the hack, studying to be a teacher in the next couple years. Still just 19, so has a
Nun
little
ist
bit of
gut.
time ahead of her.
3. Jetzt kriegst du lang.
I was talking to their coach before the game, and I asked them the question, so like, what do each of these girls do? What are they studying or want to be? And she essentially just looked at me with this quizzical look and said, well, they curl.
Yeah.
That's pretty much their, that's what they do.
17 recht natürlich.
Breaking news: we have a guard.
Ooh. Finally, change of plans here, and
Double
Emma
nice.
Artichoke wasting no time. Going to call the corner
Eigentlich
guard. I think we may have some interesting play here this end.
Schon?
Tori Zemmelink throwing the lead stones.
Well then.
Line's good.
Aha,
Goes
im
by the
letzten.
nickname Zipper
Just
to
three.
some.
Never, Lauren.
Lauren Kaylee's.
Never, Lauren.
Are we in? Okay, go then, Kaylee, go. Yeah, you're in. You're 15
Also
points.
nur
Slide
für
in.
die Länge.
All right, Kale, push it over, push it over, push it over. Good judging.
Now this is a key shot here. You see a lot of times there's really two options. You either hit the yellow or you'll see the teams ignore it and go try to get a position right around the center.
Oh!
Ja, den
Gell!
Curve.
Lauren. Kom maar goed, Jack. Bring it. Nachli. Elfie.
Going to be close to
Yep,
the
yep,
roll.
yep, yep.
Not quite.
Check, wish.
Moves closer to that center stone.
11 hätte er gehabt.
Team Einspieler won their first 2 games of the round robin before dropping their final game, which likely would have given them a much higher seed. Ended up bouncing back very nicely, though, in the quarterfinals this morning with a big steal of 5 in the 5th end, I believe. That led to handshakes.
Så 0.
So that rolled out.
Now this will give the opportunity to Jana Helen to make a good draw around this center guard.
Aktiv 0-6. Ja, schnell.
Vorne 4! Easy!
Du möchtest knapp. Jetzt.
Oh, er läuft jetzt rechts straight. 15-4.
Ja, Schiene 4. Schiene 4.
Jetzt runter. Macht es ein bisschen von allein. Sieht das nicht gemerkt.
Finishes behind the guard.
Just out of
Am Schluss hat er
curiosity,
schon
Rob, I
recht
was counting the
Finish.
rotations on that stone as it went down the ice. About 6 by the time it had finished, which is, well, maybe in the past we would maybe call it a much more European way of throwing things with high rotation that lets it travel really slowly but travel a lot further. I think a lot of the Canadian teams are sort of transitioning to that method, of course, with David Murdoch now coming over from Scotland and being the high performance director for Curling Canada, bringing some of those techniques which have now trickled down to the top men's and women's teams in Canada, and I'm sure given time will make its way down the ranks.
Well, this one hangs wide.
14-3.
And will roll out the back. So opportunity now
Dat is
for
een
the Swiss team.
meter.
Ja.
And that, unfortunately, is just a pair of
No.
compounding misses. You can sometimes, get away with one miss. The other team is probably going to capitalize on you, as the Swiss did, but then you need to come back and you need to make that miss. And when you start missing multiple shots in a row, that's how you get yourself into the situation that we're about to see here.
Es
With
wird eigentlich schon
2
kürzer
Swiss
sein.
stones buried behind a center guard,
Yep, yep,
and
yep.
Team Artichoke in a lot of trouble.
Komm, über 10er, über 10er. Ist von Anfang an ein bisschen weiter raus gewesen als
Quite
der
get that one
Fahrer.
buried, about 2/3 open.
Third job.
Looks accessible for Team
15
Artichoke to
Meter.
ruin at least one redstone.
Also stimmt schon etwa.
Looks like they're electing to throw this hard, try and make the double. Other option I was thinking was to throw it a little bit softer, a hack waiter. Just get rid of one of the reds, but stay in front of it to control the front of the rings. Corey on the inside.
Get by the guard. Get the back one. And the shooter stays.
Wir bleiben nochmal da. So
Unfortunately,
16 ist
doesn't really
gut.
solve the problem.
Fast schon 16-5.
Sticks that
Ja,
red
so 18
behind the
Kills.
guard.
Sehr aktiv.
Ist gut. Spitzlinie. Go. Go, Lenny. Linie. Okay, wir können gehen.
They like the line.
Und sicher ganz im 12. Hä? 16. Oh, Linie. Besser als der. Oh. Schön, Alissa. 16-0.
You can see the back one.
Oh, you just ripped the top one, eh?
Could probably play a hack waiter on the one on the
You like
button,
just
although
ripping off the top one?
I think definitely want to be moving
It's
this
hard.
guard.
Share this time.
Running it back, get rid of as many of the red in the rings as you
Share
can.
all the damage. Share all of them.
Aber er hat wieder einen rechten Bogen gemacht. So, noch. Was? Aha. Ja, das kann sein. Aber sicher nach der Haag habe ich das Gefühl, macht so der. Ja.
Lauren Rajala with the run back. Bit unfortunate there to make contact with everything, but leave two red stones mostly buried behind that yellow guard. Now the opportunity for the Swiss, calling to draw this rock into the top four, ideally freeze on the shot stone, although based on the communication there, it seems like that they know the tolerance is a little bit light here. You could toss up a guard, would be very good.
And from what we've seen, this is the straighter side of the sheet.
Niemals, Girl! Niemals, Girl! Wow! Komm in die Linie, Linie! Ja, weißt du, dass man da nicht.
Surprising there, seemed to give up on the line call early. Definitely feel like they could have gotten Renee Frigo on that to get it by that top red. Perhaps they thought it was a little bit lighter than it was and it might have stopped in time, but leaves a double opportunity here for Lauren Rajala. Lauren, a forensic science student at University of Laurentian in Sudbury.
Box jetzt auch nochmal Linie.
That's one, Lauren. Gets two.
Gets two.
Draw,
does roll out of play, so it appears that red is still the shot stone.
Wir sind ja besser als der. Die hat 16, der wo jetzt gerade falsch jetzt
elect to ignore that stone on the side of the 12, draw around it.
Fast spitz mehr, die
Have to be
gesagt.
careful, would possibly leave a run double.
Nein, eigentlich ganz so wie der Alissa ihren. Weißt du das so? Ja, so vorne 4. Ja, vorne 4, vorne 8 ist gut. Was? Ja, sie will schon probieren, ganz zu verstecken. Nicht genau meins. Deswegen schon eigentlich vorne 4. Was haben wir für Split?
Isabel Einspieler, she'll be attending university next year. Major still to be decided, it appears. Right now, she wants to get this rock into the 4-foot.
Snobby! Jana!
Curlen! Wo ist er? Dann nehmen wir den aber ganz hintere.
Did not get the curl that they had hoped for.
Ja.
It rolls to the back. 8.
So leaves room here for MR to tuck. She can follow this red down. I think you kind of want to go right back to the red. Not sure if really there's enough curl where you could reasonably get to the top of the button and be buried enough where Isabel can't come down and pick you out. So you draw right down to the back red. I think more often than not you're going to... You're always probably going to have a shot for your one, and more often than not, you might have a shot for a multiple. Amartica Chuck is a communications major at Wilfrid Laurier University. Former university provincial champion as well. Like line's maybe a little tight here. Kelly Delaney on it, trying to hold it.
Oh, just sneaks by, but does leave it exposed to pick out.
Ja, entweder wir
The
gehen
draw
so.
was possible to get buried if you're going to play it that
Right?
close.
Ja, aber den
Brom
Rest wahrscheinlich
just
halt
didn't
nur
quite have the
hell.
weight to get there. A couple more feet
Ja,
might have
fast eher
gotten
die
buried,
Backline
but
im Fall.
for the moment,
Ja,
he's
wie weiß er
about
nicht, wie
half
das
open
denn
and
ist?
accessible for the Swiss to remove.
Ja, schnell abspielen oder den Draw machen.
Wanted to look from the hack on exactly how
So
many
haben wir,
see.
so haben wir noch nie gespielt.
Ja, so 12.
Really no benefit to
Aber viel
trying
mehr,
to
oder?
stick around on the
Viel
hit.
mehr ist.
But imagine we'll see
Ah,
something thrown hard here. Just try to pick it out.
Ich finde, was? Ich finde 11 nicht schlecht, weil es kommt ja schon am Schluss.
So.
Spiel mehr, ne? Ja.
And so the broom comes down, and Isabel makes her way to the close end of the ice.
11. Ja. Ich habe das Gefühl, der fast noch ein bisschen mehr ist. Ja. Wir dürfen einfach nicht unseren eigenen nehmen. Sonst hat sie einen Shot für 3. Das 11.
How's your Swiss German, Rob? You got anything for us? Or?
Better than it was because of the fact we see Team Tiranzoni, and they're from similar area close to the German side. Northeast side of Switzerland, closer to the German border. And picks enough of it to move it, but doesn't move it enough.
So it appears at a
You want
first
more ice
glance
though?
that yellow remains shot stone. Broom comes
then
down
listen,
quickly for
aber
Emma
es
Artichoke, and
hat
it's
sie
a
nicht
draw the
geholfen.
forfeit for 2
Schnell
after
ein bisschen schnell.
flying through the first 2 ends. Really nothing in play, and the
Yeah,
opportunity
down to
here in the second
Yeah.
for the Swiss to get a force. Slight miscue there
Ja,
by
schnell.
Isabel Einspieler leads to this
Sehr
open
grün.
opportunity for 2.
Ich glaube, das Eis wäre recht gut gewesen.
Ja.
And after just having a chance
I
to
took it
draw on her last, expect this one to be close.
Ich finde, wir haben es nicht so schlecht gehabt. Es ist einfach der Scheiß.
Ja.
Kind of appeared out of nowhere, this opportunity to score 2.
Ja, Scheiße, sie wollen nicht.
Needing to go early, lines tight
Ja.
once again.
Should be enough. They got it by the guard,
Ja.
and it settles in for 2.
So after 2 blank ends, it's a big
16.
score for
I
Team
hope my
Artichoke.
wrist
2
will not
points
fit.
on the board. They'll take a 2-0 lead.
Really good end.
Peace of mind, the life you want, and financial independence. At World Financial Group, we believe your path to any of these goals is paved by financial knowledge. That's why our agents spend every day empowering individuals and families of all backgrounds with the knowledge to create the life they want. No matter your financial goals, WFG can help you own your future. Visit worldfinancialgroup.com to learn more.
Wenn es reingeht, machen wir Guard. Abspielen musst du nicht.
Picking up just in time to see Tori Zemmelink delivering the first stone at the end after a big 2 points.
Der kommt sicher nicht ins Haus.
Don't
Now if
kill
you're the Swiss,
yourself.
you're kind of
Just
looking
leave
back
it.
at those first
Give it
2
to
ends
Nike.
that
Move it.
you decided to play very easy
We're
and
in, Carl.
play for the easy blank, and now you kind of realize that you've gotten rid of 2 ends that you might have had to come back in this game. Still plenty of time to go, 5 ends remaining here in this semifinal. And with the abilities of this Swiss team, I have no doubt that they're going to give Team Zemmelink a run. Do their best to claw back.
Team win.
Over in the men's semifinals, Teamy Bear currently with a 2-0 lead over Team Hocevar. They took one in the first and stole one in the second. And we'll remind you of the playoff standings. If Guibert does end up holding on to win this game, then it'll be the winner of Prenovost and Garner who will represent Canada and Switzerland. Prenovost currently up 3-0 after 2 ends of play. In the other women's semifinal on the other side of us, just like our game, had 2 blanks to start, followed by a force to 1. Julia Markle was able to get against Team Johnson. So Johnson currently leads 1-0 in that match, playing the fourth.
10.
Wenn man sagt, Pause, oder?
Looking for hitting a long roll.
Squat! Oh, yep!
Yep.
Oh, oh! Girl! Achtung! Nein, girl!
And here's the roll.
Yep.
Does come towards the center line, but does now
Jetzt sei Eis!
open the door a little bit for
Sei Eis rennen!
Team Artichuk to try to get the hit and roll behind the high guard.
Kaylee Delaney, 4th place at the Canadian Juniors last year in Rouyn-Noranda, Quebec. Tori was also a member of that team.
Curl! Curl now, hard curl. Okay. I got 10.
Easy hack waiter to try to get the hit and the roll. Einspieler will try to use the center guard.
Squat! Achtung! Oh!
Ga je het voeren, raus.
Ik ga je terug toezen, girl!
Sorry.
Oh, Linia! Kun toezen. Ja.
Ach.
Het is 7. Het gevoel dat is recht kijk hoe ze kijkt.
Ja.
Het is recht kijkt, dan is het gevoel.
Close. Yo! One. Jory!
Scott.
Go, Jory, push! Push! Roll! Wayne was much better on that one.
Both teams have struggled to make the roll on this spot in the sheet. Of course, the straighter side of the ice that we've seen. All these shots under curling. Definitely missing on the safe side to make sure they nose the rock.
Oh, der kijkt
Like to see
wieder.
them start getting a little bit closer here.
Sorry.
Bring hem.
Getting closer to that center line.
We'd like to see both of these teams maybe bring that weight down a touch if they're really trying to go hard on that hit and roll. Especially on the straight side of the sheet. I think you can get away with throwing something closer to a board. Easy board waiter. Let your sweepers come into play more. Control the path of that stone. Probably end up giving you a better chance to make the roll.
Ja, nou ik zou, als ik wel nog een beetje langzaam.
Now Lauren Rodgela's turn to try.
6. Als ik dat fast goed 11 oder plus. Können wir vielleicht auch noch bringen.
Right, Caroline!
Better for the roll.
Take it, go!
We finally, after a number of shots, connected a little bit. Just a piece buried.
Oh, I got 11.
Both teams have to start being careful here. We're getting pretty high in the rings. Eventually, at some point, you'd imagine another nose hit. This one will be in the rings, but perhaps then if Team Artichuk comes back and knows it, it'll be another guard. A center guard, albeit, so Emma would be fine with that, but would give the Swiss a chance to draw around if they'd so choose.
Bring
So
nach
needs
Hummer
the curl.
10 Dane. Go, 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 go. Oh, 12 nu. Ja.
Didn't get the curl, and it will go to the outside, 12 foot. Nobody's been able to
Ja, 12 nu.
generate a
Dank is
roll.
super.
Yeah.
Swiss women's program has always done extraordinarily well around the world. Of course, you can't deny the success of Silvana Tiranzoni and Alina Petz over the last number of years, but they have a number of other women's teams that do very well on the tour. Xenia Schwaller, Silliman, as well as some others. And even going back numbers of years to the likes of Miriam Ott, the Swiss have always sort of found themselves, if not on top of the world, fairly close to.
I think it's just
There's a great program there.
Michelle Yagi, another strong team who has been floating in and out of the slams at times for the last number of years.
Oh!
This one is curling and
Oh!
is going to miss the
It's
yellow
11,
stone.
6.
Got inside on it, and it stayed inside.
I think just getting caught a little bit. They played
Oh,
that
that
curly side the
was
entire
gespielt.
end. So you move over to that curly side for one shot. They haven't played it much already this game, so maybe just forgot
this
about
side
it.
is just as quick as
But possibly just tried to throw it the exact same, and the rock just took off on them, weren't able to hold it. So now, free opportunity here. Emma Artichuk, chance to get this rock
Jetzt Gefühl,
into
die sind
the
der Abwisch
top
und
of the
da
ring
nicht.
by pressure to the Swiss women.
Yep.
so hair slower.
Wir haben den letzten. He? Ich glaube, nachher einen Draw machen. Bringt nichts, wenn wir den abspielen. All you! Kaylee's roll! Top 4, guys! Find side room! Look! Tons of room! Horns rock now! Okay, let it work, 15, don't touch it.
One needs to put the brakes on.
Right back, Lauren, right back, back 12, back 12. Wow. Ja, die Frage ist, gehen wir ganz dran an oder vorne?
Emma just getting caught in a fast spot there.
Ja.
Slips to the back gate, but chance
Ich
here
darf
for a
keine
double
platzieren,
now.
aber sie nicht rausbringt, mit einer
Or
Chance
Isabella
sind zum 2
Anspieler.
machen, ne?
If
Ja, dann
she'd
müssen
so
wir fast
choose,
da.
also
Ja, entweder da
could play the
hin
draw if she
oder
wants to be a
da.
bit more aggressive.
Eher hinten, ne? Sie leitet halt den nochmal drauf.
Ja. Gut, wenn man. Wir können auch schön da.
Ich wäre, glaube fast dran an, ne?
Ist gut.
Yeah, this side is probably much nicer.
Ja. Fast ein bisschen weniger, ne? So,
Like change
15,
of
5
tactics
ist
here,
gut.
Rob. They've been playing this
Yeah.
game very conservatively so far, but now, with it being so late in the end, only 2 rocks to come.
15,
Not an
5.
easy double, and
Wir
if you
glauben
don't make
dran
it,
an,
you're
weil
going to
da
get
ist mega
forced
weit
anyway.
vorne.
So, deciding to play this draw, would love to
Ich
go
hab so viel
right
vorliegen.
back to the yellow,
Also,
I
ich
think.
so viel noch.
You leave this top 4 top button.
Also, ich
That
verspiele
guard being so high would
have.
give the chance to Emma Artichuk to come down and
Eh,
dig it out,
15-2.
remove it from play.
Ich glaube, so 15-5 ist gut. Wir haben gesagt, kein 0. Ist gut!
Isabel with her first tier in the 4th end.
An Platz!
Trying
Easy!
to close out the first half of this game with the team.
Goal! Nur hinaus! Wege! 57. Mal drin! Oh,
Yana Helen
vorne
trying to
vier,
get
Länder
some
da.
control. Renee
Länder da.
Frigo trying to help as well.
Top button.
I don't think you moved it very much. I didn't even notice it. Yeah, I think it's fine. You don't know that,
Huh?
So interesting situation there, Rob. Not sure if you saw, but as Renee Frigo was making her way by the guard, caught it with her foot. Definitely moved it. To me, looked like maybe a quarter rock. So Alyssa Rudolph in the house, I think, was calling them to curl it to try and get it buried around where the rock ended up moving to. They get it there.
I just...
After mentioning it to Emma Artichuk, though, she feels didn't move it a significant amount, didn't change too much. So she was sliding down to play a freeze, now coming back to the playing end.
Yeah, I like that.
Tap in the back.
Ja, dus ik zei, when she said you can slow then
Tap it back.
free.
Just gonna throw back.
You got it.
This is the curlier side of the sheet, so I do think that
Ja, zo
rock top
60
button is actually accessible
plus.
this
Ja,
way.
oké, dat is ook aan
Definitely
rechter
enough with
rug.
the guard as
Ik
high
heb
as
daar
it is
60
to
goed, daar is
come
maar ja,
around with
50
backline weight, tap
Ja,
it
maar
out
dit
of the
hat
8
auch
foot sit
viel mehr
3.
Spielchen.
Ja, en Gott, jetzt sind wir aber schon länger nicht mehr dort. Jetzt sind wir noch Take-Out-Speaker da hinten.
I think so too.
Irgendwie ist es kälter heute.
Ja, jetzt geht's.
Ja, ich habe halt jetzt schon kalt. Und das sind wegen 4 Tage. Was zieht ihm eigentlich gut?
Final rock here
That's
for
very
Team
easy.
Artichuk, trying to hold the Swiss to 1. So moving a lot, needs to get by the guard. They will.
They just want to tap it enough.
Good sweep. 14-7. Da. Ja. Kannst du mal
That
die
rock
Fies geben? Fast
just
ein
took
bisschen mehr.
off. We've seen that from a number of shots on that side of the sheet where
There's light,
you
too.
need to be very proactive with the line call. Once it starts to go, it loses the weight, goes sideways, and I think they maybe just waited a touch too long to get the sweep on, lost the weight, still ended up in a very good
Ja, aber
spot. Not a
schnell
lot of
verschossen.
room here to work for
Dolly.
Team Einspieler. Need a piece of the
Also
white for
eigentlich
their
noch mal
second point.
gleich. Ja, eigentlich nicht viel tappen. Weißt du, das
Team's playing
Lügen
very
wieder.
quickly as we see the clock in the background. Plenty of time for the second half.
Squirt! Easy!
Might be bigger than they wanted.
Wenn man nur René. Moi vorne
Piper's staying
40.
close, but I think this needs to put on the brakes. Don't want to push that red too far.
Alisa!
Ooh, did they roll it too much? The steal of 1.
So big miss there by Isabel Einspieler. Just a little bit heavy, taps her own redstone too far, and maybe out of nowhere, a steal of 1 for Team
Also
Artichuk.
darf ja
Emma will
echt
make her
viel,
way
aber
down
bis
to the
nicht.
other end of the sheet.
When it comes to the game we love, having the right gear makes all the difference.
Goldline's new curling shoes and brooms are a game changer.
The shoes? Unbelievably comfortable. And the brooms? Lightweight and effective, giving you control on every sweep.
When I step onto the ice, I'm not just prepared, I look sharp.
Have you seen these shoes? They are a game changer.
And the brooms? Light as a feather.
It's a gold line.
It's a gold line.
It's a gold line.
And is the choice of champions.
Vielleicht der K-Hock.
Hasn't curled an inch.
Picking up now after a big turn of events there at the end of the fourth round.
14-5. Maybe
Maybe not surprising to end up a little bit heavy. That has been the miss on this ice. Very fast ice conditions
Es ist so
this week, but
heiß.
to also take out your own or push it just too far, end up with a steal. Isabel's got to be kicking herself a little bit after that one.
Well, the opportunity for 2 was there, and then they give 1 back.
Ja, easy!
Wenn er nie.
Need to take a breath here, though, compose themselves, and push forward. Still 4 ends to play. They do have the hammer. Would love to come back with a 2 here in the 5th.
17 drü.
I'll have to set up some guards, try to force the issue.
And can definitely be frustrating as a skip. I mean, I've been in those situations before where something like that happens, and you just kind of have to take a deep breath, apologize to the team, but understand that the team is playing well in front of you. I mean, they gave you a chance for 2. Just gotta keep the status quo, keep playing the way you are, and just gotta execute on the next one and try and give yourself a chance to win this game.
6-6.
Okay, good shooting, guys. 16-5.
Switch direkt.
What was the time on that one?
8.
Easy. Pinafio.
Renee Trigo, the lead for the Swiss women.
Pinafio.
2 rocks in the house and trying to hide this one behind the high red guard.
14 nu.
Don't think I mind that at all. Those pair by Tori in the center, not exactly where she would have liked. Would have liked both of them to be above the T line. And this is an excellent shot there by Renee, bearing it around the corner guard. Doesn't look to be accessible for Team Artichoke.
Roll that back. Strike back, 12.
A little backliner there to follow it down.
And I love this call by Emma. Trick is to not throw too much weight at this. Throw a weight light back line where if you do end up ticking the guard, you're not going to push it out of play. You'll just move it over to the side, exposing that back stone. Maybe roll to the center and give yourself a guard.
She added a little more to it. She added an extra broom head on the line.
Want to play this aggressive on the line call. Play this nice and close to that corner guard. Good luck, Bryce, as you said, and I saw a slight backwards motion on the release.
Okay, well then. Sorry, I thought we were going to get away.
Yeah, so did we.
Rolls in behind. She added that extra line, an extra broom head, and it just hung.
Yeah, and weight was
come off the
even weight was even lighter than what they wanted to. They were looking for more of something like a back line. Ended up just back 4. I think maybe a little bit of both. That little bit extra broom that you saw, I saw on the release just a little bit back outside even more. So those two things just compounding. Never really gave it a chance to make the shot they wanted.
Trying to get it by the guard. If they can get this by the guard. Oh, it just kisses it.
Makes contact with the yellow back 4, but spins through the rings. And just kissed that guard over a touch. That red in the 8-foot looks to be accessible. They might be able to see about a third of a stone, but making sure to get something out of this rock, just calling the heel on the corner guard.
Weiß gar nicht.
Peels it away.
Wenn man nochmal so. Pass weg, links, schnell.
Jana Helen studying nursing at the moment, wanting to be a nurse.
Now they want to get a roll.
Hi. But
And does about as well as she could. Hit some rolls to the other side of the house. Definitely looks as if they're Maybe a thin double there, or at the very least a hit and roll towards the center line. Try to group these stones up as much as possible.
Ja, ist krass.
Team Hocevar comes back with a single in the third.
Clean.
Team Bear beats 2-1 with the hammer in the other men's semifinal. Team Garner gets forced in the third. They're down 3-1 to Team Prenovos. And in the fourth end over on the other women's semifinal, Julia Marco getting forced to a single point. They have a tie game 1-1. Team Johnson with the hammer. Pretty good shot there, rolling maybe a bit further than they would have liked,
Also da
but
macht's ein bisschen
mission
weh.
accomplished to
Da
force
macht's ein bisschen weh.
the Swiss to hit it, and in most scenarios, these Reds will be pretty close together for a double.
Ja.
This one's inside. Way inside.
Don't think this one's gonna
On
touch the
their own
yellow.
red. Takes their own
It's
red out,
11-8.
rolls in behind. So that was inside right out of the hand of Rudolph.
Es ist einfach die Seite, wo wir Girl
Second
Die
end in a
brauchen
row
ein
that
bisschen
they've
Leute
been
in die
caught on
Angabe.
that side of the sheet, so maybe need to have some
Aber
communication
können doch
about
die Leute
exactly
sagen,
what
dass
they
wir
want to see on those
Are we
throws.
one, two?
Yeah.
Lauren Radula now in the hack, throwing her second stone at the end. Lauren wanted to make sure, because I forgot to say this
Weil du den verlängert
one
hast.
during the first broadcast, but
Lengy?
she wanted to make sure that I said that Emma Artichok's curling hero is Lauren, apparently. So they say. Now, when she said that out loud to me before the game, Emma just gave a little laugh. Not sure if that was approval or what, but we're going to roll with it.
Let's see it, guys. Let's see it.
We hear the family approval there from the stands.
You know.
Ik niet met juices.
No chirping from the cheap seats.
Daar komt ze nu
Now with
one shot.
staggered rocks.
Hey, that's 50%.
Going to see if they can hide one in behind.
I agree with that.
So pizza actie. Spül ist rot im Fall.
It's got Linie. Linie.
They're worried about the line.
Linie.
You're worried about the weight too.
50. Wir sind dran, aber wir
Those
müssen
two
rein.
Yellowstones in front, so more trouble
Maybe not.
Ja, was bringt man da?
for the Swiss side.
No.
I think probably this.
I really like that. Right on the beak if you're a hair light, that's fine. Like back four.
I think so, like, yeah, just
If you're a
back
hair
four.
light, like something that's not bad. We're still 1, 2, 3.
I think probably right here.
And it's okay here. Well, you're one going that way.
Kann
Girl,
ich auch
tell me.
nicht
I mean, and that one moved a ton.
Oder hast
That should be fun.
I think so.
Ja, weiß es nicht.
Just a little nose strong.
Also das 5 hat er nicht.
Like just back four.
Aber ich weiß nicht, ob es die Seite ist oder
Yeah, just back four.
Ja.
Yours was 15.8. I
Weil
think
eigentlich kann ich ein bisschen mehr
15.5.
rausgehen und eigentlich ist es noch dein
Maybe like 15.3 at the most.
Aber
Just because it's a little too
das ist eigentlich auch
No, I
gut
think
gewesen.
the Swiss are just getting caught on either side of the sheet. The speeds seem to be slightly different. Little bit different amounts of curl, and they just don't seem to be
Ja, beim
adjusting
Eis
well
ist ja,
to it
wenn's
so
grau
far.
hat.
We'll see if Emma is able to. The opportunity to tap one of these yellow stones into the forefoot, sit 4.
Just looking for back 4 weight, she said.
Stay with it. Los! Sicher. Sicher.
Ja, oder sicher eine.
Ja, sicher eine, aber... Lauren, take it.
It's tap.
Okay. 50. 15-5. Ja, wenn man den tappt.
Ends up in a pretty good spot.
Sorry,
I was
guys.
a little bit worried if
Got a
he
hair
actually
line in
got
the
close
broom,
to
you know.
nose.
Kannst du eh nicht
Might
nehmen.
leave some kind of a triple, a little bit of a grouping.
hair
Putting it
line.
on a bit of an angle, rolling out into the open.
Die andere wäre halt
Spreading
direkt
out these
wieder.
yellows a little bit might prove beneficial.
Wenn der ist halt schon
Ja.
halt.
It came back.
Ja, fast so.
I thought we were wrapping around.
Heißt, die Länge wäre nicht schlecht.
Yeah, and then it just
Ja,
didn't. Yeah.
15-5. Noch ein bisschen weiter raus.
Und da außen ist sie, glaube ich, noch ein feiner.
Hä?
Da außen ist sie noch ein feiner.
Ja, aber nicht so weit raus. Hä?
Swiss team wanted to give shout outs to all
Der
their
Draw
parents and
dahinter.
family back home in
Das machen
Switzerland that
auch.
weren't
Aber
gonna
ist wieder
make the
heikel,
trip
wenn der
over this
Fuß
time around.
noch einfach.
Especially to
halbe
Isabel's dog
vier.
Sam, waiting back at home.
Hier aber ganz viele Zilitanten hier. Ja. Ist ein bisschen. Ist dort draussen ist nicht viel, oder? Das ist weiter rein. Ja. 15-5. 60.
Nothing has been along this path,
Oh,
so they
okay.
have to be
We have no
concerned
just
with
single
the
thing
weight.
out there.
I don't know if giving it a
Wanting to sink this right around the red into
Stretch.
forfeit.
carry too good.
Noch Platz!
Ja, noch easy.
A very important judge by the
Help!
Swiss here.
Ich will draußen!
Yeah, looks okay.
Ja, komm mit. 15-5, der ist super. Go, Jana, go, der Moment 4, komm mit. Bisschen Stopp. Noch wieder.
That curled a long way. About halfway down the
No.
sheet. Didn't look like it had a chance to get there.
Ja, ja.
That, I'll let her
Appears
play
as
that.
though
That's
yellow
Noch
is
mehr
still
als was
sitting
wir, das wir
four.
denkt haben.
Probably
Sehr
right.
gewischt.
because I think the best spot is
Right there.
right here. Like it can't be super tight. Like we gotta
No.
be.
Like you give her the pie side of this, because that.
Yeah, I agree.
Das ist super.
You want to grip this one first, I think.
Yeah.
50-50. Back up in the middle is really good. 15, huh?
Opting to throw a guard here.
Got
Likely
it,
thinking that the
it's
Swiss want to make a
fine for
tap
speed.
on one of these red
Sorry.
stones.
Was machen wir, wenn sie
Ja.
auch dort hat?
Just making sure I actually give myself the right broom this time.
Nose hit would have been available on either rock as well. Might be a little bit
Frage
tricky
ist,
to
wie man
hit
einfach
them
weiß,
and still block the other tap.
Fotofavoriten
So this
allerlei.
might be the only
Yeah.
way to sort of block both
Weil
shots.
da links ist einfach nichts. Das andere ist halt, wenn du weißt, das Sepp an, ganz leicht nimmst, das reinspringst. Aber
Oder halt der
Would love to put
Double.
it pretty much right in between
The
both
double.
red stones. Take away a half
Ja,
rock
eben.
on either
Das
side.
Sepp.
Ja, aber als
So, der Double.
Takeout
Ja,
quasi.
Hell yeah!
Ah.
Oh,
Ja.
Where?
Ja, dann ist gut.
Bin dort wieder raus.
It's an easy clean right now.
Keep an eye on the line. This is a spot that sometimes tends to jump a little bit harder.
16-5.
Stop right
Got it. Right there. Ja, wenn man wahrscheinlich, oder?
Maybe rock
Also jetzt
half a
Gefühl,
rock
again,
too far.
yeah,
Der
than what they
könnte
would
ich
have
haben,
wanted.
aber
Leaves that red closer to the
last
center
time.
line open for a tap.
den habe ich schon,
Would
weil
have to
ich
play it
brauche ihn
off
eher
the
da.
center line, though.
Ja,
So
musst
it's
du einfach
definitely
Nose
made
haben.
it a
You're
bit
right.
trickier.
Wenn wir den tappen,
I think so.
dort der Double, aber ist halt schon heikel. Weil wenn du oben drüber gehst, ist scheiße.
Bei mir ist, jetzt hast du noch die Länge
Okay,
gehabt.
so we're in minute one.
Gut, bist nachher noch mal etwa gleich kommen. Oder ist eine andere Bahn.
Start going.
Wirst ein bisschen
The only
schneller.
shot I really see is maybe you could play something off that
So.
yellow, like a really thin in-off, and
Ja,
try and
aber
stick
sicher,
it on the
das
one in the
ist
forefeit, but that's
Well, I don't know if
wouldn't
you're
necessarily
So
go so far as to say that's
No,
easier than
14,5.
this.
Ja.
Very precise
Everyone knows
shot.
what
Need the
we're
weight and the line to be close. Get to the
So
nose of
14,
this red
5
with
hätte ich gesagt.
perfect weight. Push
I
it
think we're
into the
fine, too. I
forefeit.
think-
Unser Tappen. Wir
Yeah.
müssen,
That's more trouble for
I'm not
the
sure what
Swiss
she's
side
throwing.
again.
ich will eher den probieren. Es bringt nichts, wenn sie
Oh,
darf nicht noch
she's
alleine machen.
crossing. She's
Weil
playing.
dann ist,
She's playing the tap.
Ja, aber also weißt du, der andere schiessen, den Tabel probieren, bringt nichts. Der ist noch schwierig, habe ich das Gefühl.
It's a huge
Absolutely. This could be the game right
Ja,
here if it's not made.
Die Nacht müssen wir haben.
This one is going to move.
Ein bisschen innen. Nose innen.
The outside in.
Two-time Swiss Cup champions, defending Canadian Junior Cup champions, and
Linie
in danger of
Snel
the
weer!
run being over right
Go!
here. Isabel
Go!
Spieler can't make a perfect tap.
Achtung, Linie! Linie! Ja, Linie! Hard, Linie,
Seems
hard!
to like it, needs to hold the line.
Has he got enough?
Hard, go, 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 go.
Now, slides into a piece
Yeah, one.
of a 4 foot, but it looked like it is.
All right,
a
horse more.
Maybe a sigh of relief to
Okay.
just hold them to one there, but with the scoreboard the way it is, we'll see if that ends up being good enough. It's a steal of
Wir müssen
one
anfangen
for
aufbauen, so auf
Team Artichoke. They
Peace of mind, the life you want, and financial independence. At World Financial Group, we believe your path to any of these goals is paved by financial knowledge. That's why our agents spend every day empowering individuals and families of all backgrounds with the knowledge to create the life they want. No matter your financial goals, WFG can help you own your future. Visit worldfinancialgroup.com to learn more.
Warte schnell, ich muss schnell nehmen.
I have to cut to another game.
Gut. Ist okay.
Yeah.
Top four, then.
Top four.
And we're back picking up play here in the
Line.
sixth end. Tori Zemmelink throwing the first. Would love to get this stone
Yeah.
into the
Line's
top
good.
4 foot. And I mean, Rob, it's been a
One
tough game here for
59, push.
the Swiss, but
You
it's
got
been
it.
really self-inflicted. I mean, just a couple of very costly
Touch the red, touch
mistakes
the red.
by the Swiss at all positions throughout the game have led to them be to this deficit. I mean, credit where credit's due. Team Artichoke is playing very well, putting a number of rocks in good spots, but it's not as if they haven't given opportunities to the Swiss to capitalize on either. They just haven't been able to figure it out so far.
Fourth end, they had a chance to get the deuce back and hope they're going out and ended up getting a steal.
Couple flashes in the same spot more than once.
Okay,
and,
well, 17
so they find themselves in a hole, down 4-0.
Het nog recht gesmeerd voor dat wie
Definitely going to
snel
see plenty
keert.
of starts going up.
Goed.
As many rocks in play as possible if you're the Swiss.
Schön.
A little happier.
Line's good.
Turn.
Tori Zemmelink with her second shot in this end. Actually had the opportunity to work with Tori this summer at the Trillium Curling Camp. She was my coach in training for the week that week, and I will say I'm very impressed with her knowledge of the game for someone her age, her skill set, how well she worked there. I think it's something that's going to benefit her greatly in the long run.
That's a feel good moment.
As she moves up through the women's ranks. This team, actually, Team Artichoke,
Good,
not eligible for the junior level. A bit of a difference in how they determine the ages between, say, the Canadian Championships and this event. I believe the Canadian Championships are now down to more like a U20 age, whereas for this event, they consider U21 as being eligible for this event and the trip. So this team actually playing most of all of their season up to this point on the women's circuit in women's events, and now coming down to join just for this specific event. And I think that pays dividends. I mean, at some point, you know, you play your circuit at the highest level of the game. You win a lot of really good games. You get beat down by a lot of really good teams, and it's a learning experience as you come up through the through the ladder.
Actually, it's going to be Lauren.
Big gap between the junior level and the men's and women's. Something that I think Curling Canada is putting a lot of work in to try and make that gap a little bit smaller, have a bit more of a transition period, and there's a lot of events doing the same.
Nice guard.
17
Nog
points.
niet zo!
Now having to look to see if they can run it in.
Pretty much 5 perfect rocks to start this end. What you see when you get these big deficits like this is this exact situation. You see the corner up. They have to ignore the stuff in the center, so they go around, and you get these 3 stacked rocks in the center now. This is a pretty classic situation. A lot of teams find different ways to deal with it. If you have the availability, some teams will play a lightweight hit around the guard to try and move around the rocks in the forefoot. I've always been impartial to playing the run back, trying to move things around and roll to a corner.
Niet rollen. Dus nu 6 is een beetje snel. Vor allem aan de Mitte, wenn er drüber muss.
And that's the key miss that you can't have when you're in this. Even if you just dead nosed it and you stuffed a couple yellows behind, at least then there's another red guard you can still use. By rolling out, just gives Team Artichoke the free opportunity, walks up, peels the corner guard, and you really don't have a lot of space to work with the rest of the end.
Peels it with the guard.
Jana Helen with her second rock of the end. Going to try and waste some time here. Continue to guard this rock. Those are on the wings. At some point, they're going to have to switch things up. Make a play on those yellow stones near the center line. But very difficult to imagine anything more than a 2 coming out of this.
Ich glaube, er macht es vom allein. Nein, 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 nein. 16, 3, weg, 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 der macht es nicht.
In the other women's semi-final, Team Johnson being forced to 1 in the 5th end. Julia Marco will take back the hammer down 2-1. Reminder that it is down between Julia Marco and Emma Artichoke as to who will receive that trip to Switzerland. Whoever does better in their respective semi-final matchups. If both teams win or lose, they'll play another match later tonight.
No, Smitze!
So if Emma Artichoke is able to hold on to this game, the way the scoreboard is looking, then she'll be coming off the ice, but won't be going too far, keeping a close eye on that other matchup.
Nice Biller now taking on the Yellowstones.
In the other semifinals, it was a steal of 2 by Noah Garner in the 4th to tie up that game at 3-3, playing Team Prenovost. Still waiting for the 4th end to go up in the game between Bear and Hocevar. We'll let you know as soon as we catch what ended up happening there.
Interesting sweeping with Frigo and Holland. Holland with her hand on the back.
Ja, den moet
back to give her a little more pressure.
Trying to get that little bit of extra force down into the broom head.
Geh mal freeze. Vamos.
So taking away just one of those yellow stones.
I just jumped so hard.
Out of check down, sitting 2.
I was like, Kaylee,
You're definitely going into desperation mode here if you're a Swiss. Trying to find anything that you can freeze to. Ideally, you're hoping you can make some kind of perfect freeze before this end of the end that Team Artichoke can't just blast out. There is a rock on the right side. Top of the 8-foot. You might be able to draw around that later to try and get 2, but certainly not the situation they would like to find themselves in here in the 6th.
15-5. Ja, jetzt zählt noch und mach einen nach.
Come up light on
Go, 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 go!
You got it then.
Quick decisions by Artichuk right now. They're certainly in control of
It's
this
nice
game.
and easy here. It's easy feel.
Iets verder dan
No reason to try and keep any more yellows around.
recht goed voor.
Keep things
Film
simple for
tijdens
yourself.
recht
Just
langs
peel
de
this
dam
red
kraakt
out.
of een schuss uit de recht die net zo.
Nein, der Miet jetzt nicht.
Was?
Der Miet, die hat so einen Schwung gehabt.
Ja, ja, meer zo bij de hockey de rug. Je had die het gevoel gehad. Dan. Ja, müssen wir noch mal spielen, oder? Kelly?
Keeper's not
Kelly,
touching it.
just
Now
clean,
Kelly
clean.
Delaney try to get a bit of
Kelly.
curl. Looks good, makes contact.
Try to be real.
Ja, da hätte ich gesagt, das können wir nicht machen. Ich will wieder ziehen.
Ja, for a second.
And more the same here for the Swiss.
Ja, ich glaube 15, 15.
How is that? That was a
Continue to try this
Yeah.
one more time.
Yeah.
Isabel Einspieler needs a perfect nose
Eight?
freeze.
Which on this sheet, I'm okay with throwing more
Recht ab.
Oh yeah, I said that when I went down there. Is it just not easy? Was that hair wide? Did you say? On the side. Let go.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Uh-oh. Got it, came back in
Ja.
there.
Ja, voll. 7.
Honestly, I think if it's the same shot, we'll give even just a sliver less. Just because I think we can.
I don't know if they got a nose on it.
Fred! True.
And up, yeah. I think they.
Cool!
Nur wegkrasch! Sieht lang aus, wenn du mich fragst.
He just
Ich
finished.
hab's ja nie. Yep, 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 yep. Yep.
Not quite getting there, so
Just
Broom's not
Nine.
quite getting in the right spot. Great
I don't
weight
hate the other
there.
turn.
Just needed a
I
better
don't like
rock
this
or
turn.
curl.
I think this is fine.
For 9?
Yeah,
I think so. Macht nicht so viel wie der Lisa.
If we
Ihre
can just
Hälfte.
roll in front, that's real good.
Okay.
Just throw it 9.
Hat aber viel weniger gemacht als
I
die.
just want to keep the lane up
This
so it
team says that they've
Weniger Eisen
really
drawing is
enjoyed
noch
their
gay.
time here in Canada on both of the trips that they've had the
It's
pleasure of coming over for.
Dass ich
Speaking
meine
with their
Hände aber
coach
so
before the game asked them
Weil ich
Ich
steil.
what
habe
they've
das Gefühl, du
liked
gehst sie in
doing
dem
while they
Match
were
bisschen
here
anders
or
als
how they like
vorher,
to spend
aber
their time,
ich weiß
and
nicht, ob es da
they said they
ist.
love
Maybe
shopping.
just a sliver less
Love going to the mall, love going to the different stores that we have here in Canada, seeing all the variety and different things we have that they don't have back home. I know they brought over a lot of stuff as gifts for the
Pegel machen oder länger?
organization committee
So
here
second.
for the event.
I know
Some Swiss cheese.
McCusker would have said
Harder!
chocolate.
I think there's definitely some cheese, some chocolates, different things
Wenn man
like
eine
that.
Schüsse
I know
oder
the
draw.
Canadian teams are just raving about the
Sagen,
hospitality they
Roti
received
Volo
when they were in
Fisch.
That's
Switzerland.
the same
Ja,
spot,
Mensch,
isn't
gib
that
mal
it?
wieder.
Tours they had the opportunity
That's the
to
same
see
spot.
part of the
Wer
country
glaubt,
before
Schüsse,
they
ne?
actually got
Wenn man
into
von
the
innen oder von
Swiss Cup.
außen?
No, no, no.
So
No,
Das ist halt einfach die Seite, die nichts gehört.
enjoy the
Oder
culture,
rausgefallen.
Gib mal so.
make some
Yep.
friends, and
Selfie.
see the country.
I think the two groups have done some fantastic work working together. I know Greg
Yeah, I
Cowan
just need
and
to
the
not assume that that's gonna
done
Ja,
a lot of
Schüsse
work
oder
reaching
draw?
out to them. I know. I remember a story from last year when they were trying to
I think
als
this
ich
is
get both
Voll
sides to
vorwärts
agree on how exactly the trip was going to work and getting the
Jana
sponsorship.
haben wir
And
so
actually,
I just need to stop.
Silvana Tiranzoni was
was
apparently crucial in getting that final agreement done, as she was
Das Elfi, er hat,
champion on
glaube
the
ich, gegen
Swiss
10,5
side
hätte ich
many
gesagt.
years ago, made the trip over to
The last thing we need is
Canada
for it to
when
just-
Grant contacted her and asked her to
I agree with
give
you.
the committee sort of her perspective on it. That was one of the key moments that helped
Yep.
bridge the gap and figure out how a deal was going to get made.
This is a key shot for Ansbiller too. Has to stay.
Gut, gut. Gut, gut, gut.
Hits
And
it
she
on.
does. Gets one. Was forced to one.
And so after 6 ends of play,
Score.
Team Einspieler finally on the board, down 4-1.
Peace of mind, the life you want, and financial independence. At World Financial Group, we believe your path to any of these goals is paved by financial knowledge. That's why our agents spend every day empowering individuals and families of all backgrounds with the knowledge to create the life they want. No matter your financial goals, WFG can help you own your future. Visit worldfinancialgroup.com to learn more.
And so after 6 ends of play, the Swiss team finally on the board here, Rob.
Easy.
Job's not done yet. Still
Great
going
Scott,
to
girl!
try to push the envelope.
Moving fast.
Really the most reasonable way to a win here. You got to steal both ends, and you got to find a way to steal 2 along the way.
16 nu. Kom naar bis auf Mitte. Go.
4th and 5th end scores now up for the men's semifinal between Hebert and Hocevar. Looks as though Hebert scored 1 in the 4th, Hocevar 1 in the 5th, so Hebert up 3-2 with Hammer in the 6th end of that match. Remember, if Hebert wins that game, then it'll be the winner of Team Prenevos and Team Garner, who will get the trip to Switzerland. Looking over at that match, that game has turned on its head a little bit after scoring a big 3 Prenevos did in the 2nd end. It's been all Team Garner since then. 1 in the 1st, 1 in the 3rd, steal of 2 in the 4th, and another steal of 1 in the 5th. So Garner now up 4-3 over Team Prenevos there in the 6th end of play. Julia Markle getting a force against Team Johnson in the 5th end. So Markle down 2-1 with the Hammer in 6 as they are just getting to skip stones over there. And our matchup, of course, is in the 7th. Struck by Tori Zemmelink, definitely not where Team Arcus would have liked it. Giving another center
Also, wenn er
guard
mich
to
fragt,
the
ist
Swiss
es
to
nicht
use,
zu viel,
although
sondern
this
er hat
draw
ihn
not
Händen.
getting
We're able to get it to curl around.
Das niemals bei beiden mitmacht. Lenny, super. Jetzt
accessible for Tori Zemmelink to remove from play.
They get enough? No, they just nick it behind the guards, and you can see the reaction by Zemmerling. Didn't finish for her. A little too much weight. Out of their hand, the sweep indicated that it was a little big.
Verdammt, gut!
So everything that Tori didn't want to happen there happened, and now benefit tier 2, the Swiss. Chance to come around again. Sit 2 buried. Silver lining still for Team Arcus. Those 2 guards are very close together. Quite a makeable double peel.
Easy.
Really have to work on this because it's light. It's just going to join the group front.
Weiter, prima na Linie. Go.
Shot.
Not quite able to get there, but maybe another guard that they'll be able to use. Looks
Hindi naman good the
like
shot.
they're just going to take on a double peel. I wasn't sure if you could really get all 3. I don't think so. So just going to try to run this yellow into either one of the reds. Get rid of 2 of them.
You got it. Yeah. Hard, Lauren. Yeah. Hard, Lauren. Yeah. Hard. Yeah. Hard. Yeah. Okay.
And able to take 2 out of play. They do leave the yellow as another guard.
And looks like we're going to have a timeout called by the Swiss side. Their coach, Bridget Brunner, will come out and will
Ja, eigenlijk moest je ook al.
tune in to see what they have to say for any of you at home that speak Swiss German.
Yeah. It was a good throw, just
Feel free to text into the
Ja,
show and let
logisch
us know.
Yeah, I know. That's why I did. Zweite Verena. Was? Ja, aber wir können halt eigentlich nicht nur eine machen, sondern logisch. Ja, ja.
Yes. If they steal one. Oh, if we take one, yeah. Okay, I thought you said if they take one.
Let's get it back together.
Yeah.
So,
Ich habe das Gefühl, ich würde so, dass er den Shot abdeckt. Das, ja, so wie der andere Rot, die einfach ein bisschen weiter vorne, hätte ich gesagt. 2 hätte ich schon gesagt. Ja, ja. Das 1, 2, ja. Nein, nein. Aber wer glaubt sie? Mit mir will man nachher rein. Aber mit ihrem zweiten kann man es überlegen. Mit dem ersten sicher noch nicht. Gut, machen wir es. So,
I didn't get much out of that, Rob, but I thought I heard ein and zwei at times, which would be 1 or 2.
Yep.
So it could be talking about throwing a high guard.
I can't feel nice.
The broom comes down edge of the 8-foot. We'll see here as Jana Helen throws this stone where it ends up.
Zwei! Oh! Zwei!
A little deeper.
Squat! Zwei, vor die Linie. Ja, ja.
Schweiß.
Linie Squat.
Schweiß.
Oh. Man hat die falsche Zeit laufen lassen.
I'm thinking
Looks like
that's
my
one
guess was
still.
right. Ends up as that high guard. Sportsnet ever needs a translator, let me know.
So you can go to 2. Is that
That's about it. Now Kelly Delaney once again being asked to remove a couple of these guards from play.
Yep.
Yep, Hardthorn.
Yep.
Hardthorn.
Hard.
Push it out.
Really hard. Oh. Roll it.
oh, just to rearrange
Ven
the
matá!
line of rocks down the center line?
Ik vind het
2 shots in a row there. Her last peel felt like a while ago with the timeout and everything, but
so
was also a
stupid.
double peel that she ended up nosing and leaving a guard. Now not a lot of room to work with here for Team Artichuk. Alyssa Rudolph trying to capitalize on this chance, something they've struggled to do so far this game.
Come on, squat. Wir sind easy. Sieht lang aus. Jetzt. Wie weit sind wir? Können wir da hinten legen? Ja.
Start curling.
Beide. That was a 15-3. Go.
Slides it in behind.
Actually ends up in a really good spot. And this is a call here. This is putting the end on the line, I think, if you're Emma Artichuk, calling this freeze to the backing. If it's made really well, could take everything away from the Swiss the rest of this way. If not, could be looking at a big steal.
Yeah. All right then. Line good. Where are we?
T. Top 4.
Running like a second.
Top T. Top T.
Oh.
Tori Zemmelink on the inside, Kaylee Delaney on the out. They're calling T-line.
It hasn't curled, though.
Nummer 4-8.
This is what I mean. I think you needed to stop for a second, turn around, take a look at where the scoreboard was. Understand that, even a steal of 1, even a steal of 2, you're going to be more than fine in this game going to the end with the lead and the hammer. Now you've brought 3 into play.
Yeah.
Soft.
Whereas they could have just walked up, tried to clear out some of the mess up front. There were still double peels available. Melissa Rudolph trying to bring the hammer down here, get this rock to the top of the 4-foot. This one's looking very good.
Oh, geil. Verdammt viel.
Doesn't quite get it there, so it is still red sitting 2.
Ja, je tegen me kriegen
Still
een wit, aber...
available, but a bit tougher now with that rock in the way.
Now looking at the other side.
Vast even een linie van de negen. Ja. En die eerste had 15-1 gehabt.
Ja.
Once again, electing
Immer
to
noch
ignore these
Chile
guards
anlegen,
out
das wird
front.
echt hart.
This is about the last chance I think they're going to have to make that double peel. They've elected not to. Trying to make this draw to the button, no backing.
Sweep that second one.
Kaylee Delaney trying to get it by. They won't. Will touch off the guard spin. Just bite the top of the 12 foot.
Ja. Foul.
Ja. Zo. Ga snel de oosten gaan.
Possible benefit of the shot is that Swiss can't get
Let's
another
see.
one in there at the moment, but
But they are going to try to use that yellow guard that's now top 12.
yeah, if the Swiss don't deal with it, likely Emma will try to run it back into that situation in the 4-foot. So
Ja.
going to spend a rock, tossing up a guard here.
Het even
But
eer
if you ever get a
outside.
miss on Emma's first, you might still have time to sink a third one into the 4-foot.
90. Es ist noch recht weit aus, es kommt runter dort. Einfach nicht unterschätzen.
Boy, took even more ice.
She did throw this exact spot in the sheet 2 ends ago when she was trying to play a come around to the
Easy.
4-foot, so should have a good idea of how much this is going to curl.
Easy! Binding girl!
Curl! Crash curl! Curl! Oh, das ist spannend. Ja.
Nimm mir dahinter!
Ja.
Hung.
Close to there. That's fine.
And you know, Rob, I think I might have just gotten far enough. You'd
What
have
was
to hit a
That's about
fair chunk of
Braden's
the
off,
outside of that yellow to
15.
angle it into the 4-foot, so might still be there, but either
Nice
way,
move.
looks like Emma Artichok's
And
decided to
Josie.
go in the other direction, try to make this freeze
Wir
to
haben
the
das Gefühl,
button.
meine Gallen, die haben
Big
weniger
shot
als
here.
eure. Hä?
Just got to skinny that red rock that's in the top 12.
Zalda trusting where the broom is.
I'd rather it left high.
A lot of it's up to the sweepers here. Need this rock to be on the T line.
Ich habe das Gefühl, meine machen weniger als deine sicher.
Let
It is
Tori and
without
Emma worry
a
about
hop.
the line. You just make sure that it's going to be on the T line and figure it out from there. Emma Artichok with her first in the 7th.
Oh,
Facing
yeah!
a couple.
And they signaled that the weight was up.
Ja, aber außen kommt es vielleicht runter.
Kenny,
Dann zieht
you
er
don't
vielleicht
like
am
it when
Schluss noch.
sweepers escort a rock down the ice.
14-1 habe ich gehabt.
And this is looking like it's going to sail all the way through the rings. Lauren Radula now trying to make sure they don't bump that yellow back any further. And it's like it does just get out the back. Yes, they kick it away.
Gelle, machen wir zu.
Now decision time here for the
Entweder
swing.
der oder dritte.
Ja.
If it was me, I think you have to try and sink another one into the forefoot and remain content.
So heikel, heiß, ja.
You ever really wanted to try hard, the tapping
Ja,
that
gib
yellow
mal ihren nochmal den gleich
tack
oder
is
einen neuen.
available to sit
Yeah.
for, but then
Yeah.
you're
Where's the
probably
time?
just giving a chance to
Wenn wir
Emma to escape. I think I like
Ich will
leaving
fast eher
leave that yellow
Darmfall.
angle for Emma Artichok. It's debatable if she can even get it enough on
Halt
the
schon
outside
heiß,
to
wenn
run
nachher
it
nichts
in.
hast.
Ja. Ich will
I'd
das
like to see them
Risiko,
throw
glaube
this
nicht
out-turn
eingehen.
draw to the forefoot, sink
Ich will,
another
glaube
one.
den zutun, weil der muss sich auch noch
Not a
gleich
chance to
schräg
tie
haben.
this game right
Also
here.
von da wird
But
sie
even if
schiessen.
the nose, if Artichok was even just a nose there, yellow, just take one away.
Ja.
They could
Yeah.
with a tap,
Yeah.
yes.
However, so that's the decision they've got to make. Do they take away that little tap, or they take away?
Ja,
Ja,
der hat
They've
jetzt
already
nicht so
tried
schön
A
gegeben.
couple of times. It's
welche wollen wir?
one side.
And I think if it was me, especially after that last
Also ich habe
shot,
das Gefühl,
with Emma seemingly struggling
Nein,
to
jetzt habe
find
ich
the
das Gefühl,
right weight
der
there,
kommt sie an Rot an.
put another question mark in her mind. Make her go to the other side of the sheet. Make sure she plays the tap so that then
Yeah.
line is a question, weight's a question. You might get away with
I'm not worried
something.
about it moving okay. I'm worrying about it moving too much.
Looks like the
Because
decision
I have
is to
to
play
throw
this
it.
out turn. That looks like a lot of
Like, I have
ice
to
to
throw
me. They might
this
just be
turn,
throwing a
right?
guard.
It could be just a guard to take
I
away
don't know.
that
I just think
side
it's so
and
tight by that
force
guard.
her to try that just
Mhm.
But-
No, your hair is slimmer, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
A bit surprised. I thought this was a good chance to sink a third one and
Oh.
put the
That's
tie.
probably right.
Perhaps
back
content
at it.
to
Honest,
take
yeah,
their
I can't
steal
hurt
of two,
myself.
play for the steal next end, and then try to steal the extra. Isabel Einspieler
Pizza
here with her
activa.
last in the seventh end.
Linie ist
Big
gut.
opportunity.
Immer
That's not bad.
Nein!
That's
Linie!
Linie ist gut.
They like the line.
Nur drüber. Gut.
Back 8.
Takes away that side,
Yeah,
so
I
the tap
think
is
so.
there just to cut them
Just
down.
trying to put it to
That's
there.
the only thing they can do. As you said, that red rock
I
where
think
it
so.
is, just to see it to the outside and the right side of your screen. It's hard to
Yeah,
get the angle on it. So they can just tap and get part of the forefoot.
And I think you're right. I think they can get enough of the yellow to just play a tap
Like,
to the side of the button and maybe
Just
score
back
that way.
8, just because
Bit
I
surprised
think
they're
if I
throwing the
throw less,
intern
I
at
don't
this. Not a
But
whole
thanks,
lot
to be
of
honest.
with that high red guard up there. There's actually not a whole lot of. You'd love to throw the
Mucho,
outturn at it. So
Aber
that
sie
when
mal
it
den
makes
letzten-
contact with the yellow takes on the intern, maybe gets a little bit of finish into the button for you, but
Ja.
that high guard just looks like it might be in the way. Big shot here. Emma Artichok with a 3-point lead, but facing 2.
Clean!
Ja,
Line call on it early. Doesn't look like it's going to hold. Over curls. Is there a hole?
If they can get through this hole, no.
It's really hard to do.
Gets through the hole, but just not enough to work with. Bumps that red up. It is a steal of 2, and all of a sudden, we have a ball game again. Put 2 on the board for Team Einspieler, and when we come back with our
I didn't
final
think so
end,
either. It's not like there was one.
Peace of mind, the life you want, and financial independence. At World Financial Group, we believe your path to any of these goals is paved by financial knowledge. That's why our agents spend every day empowering individuals and families of all backgrounds with the knowledge to create the life they want. No matter your financial goals, WFG can help you own your future. Visit worldfinancialgroup.com to learn more.
Both these teams have used the steal now. As you can see,
Ja.
the steals
Yes.
3 and 4
Also,
for
Ja.
Artichok, and now a steal of 2 for Einspieler just to narrow the gap.
and if they want to come out as winners in this one, they'll need to get a steal again. And I think that end really came down to two problems. Just poor setup by the front end for Emma Artichuk. Tori tossing up a center guard and then taking the Swiss rocks behind it. Inability to peel by Kaylee Delaney. But then the strategic choices in the second half to abandon trying to open up the center, have access to those rocks in the forefoot. And almost, I would say they're quite lucky that the Swiss weren't able to make some of those come-arounds and some of those frees later on. Could have been a lot worse than a steal of 2. But we move on here to the 8th end. It's a new end. You got a fresh life. Need to put these first few rocks in a good spot.
Easy! 15-5. Make it 5.
This right top 4.
Good.
And right behind the guard. That is an extremely high guard, though. Gives them ample opportunity to get around it and on top of that Yellowstone.
Super soft. Kom, dan brengen we.
Light.
Okay, scratch.
Donna Helen and Alyssa Rudolph trying to get that as far as they can. Ended up in a
Alisa.
Great setup here for the Swiss. 2 center guards. Lots of space between them.
Tschüss, 3. Tschüss, Eisen, tschüss, 3.
In other semifinal action, it was another steal of 1 for Noah Garner in the 6th. He now holds a 5-3 lead over Prenevost. And in the other women's semifinal, right beside us, Team Marco being forced to 1 in the 6th. They're tied, deadlocked at 2 after 6 ends of play. Team Johnson with the hammer in 7. It appears as though they're threatening over there, sitting 2 as well. Maybe 3. We'll keep you updated on what ends up happening. Skips rocks.
15-5.
We're da!
We're coming back to our marquee matchup. 4 great shots here to start this end. Tori putting 2 rocks in the top of the forefoot. Renee Frigo with 2 great guards, and now it's up to Jana Helen. Make a good freeze here. And get away with bumping one of the Yellowstones back a foot.
8. 10. Ja. Mooi. Ist nicht schlecht. 4. 4.
15-2, das ist schnell.
Don't want too big a bounce.
It will roll off, push that Yellowstone onto the pin.
Hätten wir nochmal so einen Guard machen. Hä?
This is smart. Ignore that redstone in the forefoot. The guards are your problem for the moment. Let the Swiss worry about what's going on in the rings and just make sure to get this situation as open as possible. Kaylee Delaney looking to peel this high one.
Hard, Lauren. Hard. Right turn. Please.
Team Artichuk wanted to give a shout out to their coach, Sean Pierce, who is currently in Vegas.
Aber ist da der richtige Call?
I know, it's tough.
Da der
Very
richtige
tough
Call.
life.
I'm sure he's watching online at the slot machine.
16.
2. Easy.
Kann ich, oder?
Nur Eis.
Waiting
Nur
for this to
Eis.
move.
Sie sind wir viel zu nah. Wo sind wir?
2.
17-7. Könnt ihr den noch schreiben? Ah, jetzt haben sie gerade. Ist gut.
I'm just worried about this coming back, but I also don't think that just moving this one is very good. This one?
They thought about the double peel, but then Emma went, if we don't get it right, we're sending it into the house. So looking at the closest guard to the ring.
This would expose their own two stones in the house. I wouldn't expect the Swiss to make a play quite yet on them, but something to keep in mind for later. I think the issue by leaving that other red stone, like I was saying, exposes the yellow and keeps the red buried. Yes, it is the rock that's on the center line, but that's how you're going to give the Swiss possibly the chance maybe to make a double, roll behind, make you draw the button against two.
Alyssa
Rudolph in her first here in the 8. Alyssa has been a participant at the Mixed Doubles World Championships, Youth Olympic Games, only 17 years old.
This one is in
Needs to get over the hog line, needs to be usable.
Oh my goodness.
Huge miss by Alyssa Rudolph here in this 8th bend.
Quick decision by Artichuk.
Not much thinking to do here. Just walk up, peel this guard now. Not much that the Swiss are going to have to work with.
Please. Atta girl. Verbinden machen! Oder mit dem Waffen zuerst einmal dort!
Ja, ich weiß, wir haben einfach keinen guten Shot. Wir haben einfach keinen guten Shot. Ja, und da dann nimmt sie einfach immer weg. Wenn man
And looks like they're going to call a timeout here. Discuss exactly how they want to handle this situation. The team comes down. Bridget Brunner once again will come out, have a discussion with the team, and we'll tune in and listen.
Das Problem ist, wenn wir halt da machen, nehmen sie halt immer weg. Wir haben wirklich keinen guten Shot.
Ja, aber was willst du jetzt machen?
Ja, aber das ist die Frage. Wenn er geht, werden sie einfach immer wegnehmen. Und sie haben den gut, wir müssen den angreifen.
Ja, das 3 hätte ich sowieso abgegartet, nicht die nicht. Da haben wir ja schon, da haben ja schon vorher wollen.
Yeah.
My fingers are cold. Also, ja.
Wir müssen hier da hinten, wir müssen den Schuss für die Möglichkeit.
Ja.
Und wenn
Yeah, we
wir
literally,
da
she
zwei voll machen,
she can't be fully under.
dann
Yeah, that's what I know. That's what I was just saying. I don't think that's
4 hinein, oder?
Because I think a guard is pretty.
Ja, also das musst du nicht machen. Ja, aber du musst nachher schiessen. Also kann man eigentlich auch einen Tap machen.
Wenn wir einen Freeze machen, wird sie ja wahrscheinlich noch.
Unless I like signal you to come out and I call the time, that's it. You got much? No, I know, but I'm just for my own peace.
No.
Yeah, Lauren's got one.
Molly
We'll
find's
see
gut.
what the discussion was, what the final decision was.
Hä? Ja, so hinein. Okay. Hinein.
Looks like the signal is for back
So gut!
weight with the broom where it is, possibly looking to Get close to the
Is this
nose of that top yellow, slight angle. Bump it beside the other yellow. Start setting up a pocket. In the other women's semifinal, Julia Merkel, with her last rock, was throwing against 4 in the 8-foot. And with her tournament on the line, came up with an absolutely beautiful freeze, as good as she could do to hold the U.S. to a single point. So Johnson, unable to capitalize for anything more than one, takes her single point and a 1-point lead going into the 8th end over Julia Merkel.
Der ist echt Kreuzkabis. Hä?
No, should be fine. Peel.
Ja.
What happens if you hit it low?
Gut.
Halbpart kann ich nicht, sorry. Ich habe das Timeout drin gehabt.
That red rock over curling a little bit. Now Lauren's chances to make a
Ja, mir hat
double.
gefallen, Geld überschnimmt.
Wanted to hit this on the nose.
Got a little bit tight, trying to hold the line.
Oh.
Touches both, but not able to spill that top red out.
Just tight.
Does the trick, though, opens up the house as much as possible. Best Swiss can do here.
They've got to be shot, so.
Yeah.
Ja, einfach so.
Still 2 rocks to come.
Lieber da, hätte ich gesagt, wenn den Champ da dort raus.
I think we're going to see a freeze here on the first one.
Have to, yeah.
If this was last shot, I think we'd see maybe a hit and roll to the wings and
Let her
force a draw or a hit, something against 2.
15,5.
Ja. Findest du es gut?
And we have handshakes over on sheet 3 between
Ja, also wir
Garner
müssen eigentlich
and
genau da liegen.
Prevost. Looks as though Garner may have come out with the victory.
Ja, aber es
They
ist
were
eine
up
andere
2.
Seite.
Possibly got a steal of a couple there.
Ja, aber es ist so
Wait for
15. Ich
confirmation
glaube,
on
etwa
that.
15,5 ist glaube
Let
etwa
you know
gut.
when we do. But Isabel Einspieler here with her first, looking to make a freeze on the button.
Easy! Easy! Girl! Siamo Gallen! Go! Go, 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 go! Come go, go, go!
16-5.
Come go, go, go,
Gotta
go,
get
go.
it as far as they can. They're calling timeout now. Artichuk is calling time.
What do you like? Just rip off the front wire.
I don't like that. I think you do this. If you're doing something in, I think you do that.
What do you think?
Verhältnismäßig.
Yeah, she's always throwing this.
Dann ist aber hure Ruf geworden, hä?
50 wäre gut gewesen.
50, ja.
Anywhere top 8 even is fine.
Plays all the top, I have a run. I think this is the shot.
Nein. Drehen Sie jetzt noch wieder die
Anywhere top 8, top 4 is
Ripping
fine.
that
That's a
off,
little
she's
bit
just
light on
making
that
that, and then it's
freeze.
harder. This, then I
Ich glaube,
have
wenn
to.
ich sie wäre, würde ich
Work
mich
with.
eigentlich schon aufmachen.
You got it.
Was jetzt
Top 8,
So
top
the
4.
decision to
Yeah,
play a
okay,
draw
soll ich
here.
rein können? Zwischen.
I understand the idea. You know that if you hit that open
Let's make a
one,
good one.
Isabel's just going to come
Nein,
in
von mir
and,
hat den Blick gesehen.
Do the same thing, tap it back enough.
and
Yeah.
may be able to get buried enough with it to make things difficult for you. I was thinking maybe you walk up, steal the one that Isabel just threw, try to get the other red over on the side, then at least you open things up. But again, if the Swiss ever come down, happen to make a perfect freeze, you might still be in trouble. So call is to try to beat them there. At least get this to the top 8 foot, make things tough for the Swiss.
Room! Close! Close!
Line's close.
Here it comes. just
Hard! Oh, no bounce. 15-7.
so for
Ich glaube, der direkte Draw habe ich nicht.
No, that's okay. Did
choice.
she tell you what time?
Innen müssen Stärke tappen. Ja.
Got the
Oder Schießen, aber ich will glaube
Ich
tappen.
will nur tappen, glaube ich.
Ja.
So mit hinten 12 Backline.
Ja. Ja, kannst du ja eins da hinten.
To move that yellow off the button.
And I don't think
Ja,
there's enough
it's
room
hard
even on
off.
this side to
Good.
play the draw tap. So one
Backline.
option.
I thought you
I
were
guess the
biased.
only
That's
question
why
is
I
how
was
much weight you want to throw at it.
Hinten
You know,
12.
I thought I would
It's
have
okay.
Okay,
on the nose, just off the nose. Try to stick it in there.
Der Fahrer hat nicht so viel gemacht. Wir kommen ja noch ein
And if
bisschen
you make
schneller.
it, you're forcing Artichoke to
Aber
throw
kannst du
them
eigentlich
to-
lieber zügig kommen wie zu Lourdes?
Hä?
Kannst du eigentlich lieber schneller kommen?
If you make it perfect, there might not really
Backline.
be an easy shot to score for Team Artichoke. They might have to hit the open rock and concede the extra.
Ja, ist Mühe, ja. Ja, aber ich komme halt noch ein bisschen schneller wie der Fahrer. Und vorher haben wir ein bisschen mehr als aussen 8 gehabt und ich komme halt schon ein Stückchen schneller. Wie viel? 20? Sehr gut! Goal! Goal! Goal!
Have to be shot.
Marca, der kommt noch gut, der kommt noch gut, bring
Needs to
ihn!
get a little bit of curl. Will it get enough of it?
Ah.
Contact with the red, but drives it by. Remains sitting
Yes.
one.
Congrats.
All at 1
Congrats.
point for Emma Artichoke. And the team final score 5-3. Handshakes come out by the Swiss squad as the defending champions
Congrats.
of the event will go home in the semifinals. Don't go anywhere. We're going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we will be jumping our cameras over to the other women's semifinals.
Hey guys, welcome to the Sioux Sales team's brand new listing. And we are bringing this beautiful building to market. And you know the great thing about the building is it has a really big lot and it's great for potential. It's 14,000 square feet, has great tenants, fully rented, almost a 4% return on your investment. But look at this area. It is just on Riding, which is by St. Clair. And what's happening along St. Clair, coming towards Runnymede? Buying up the land, condo, buying up the land, putting a condo in. This is a great chunk of land for a condo. Also, you're close to the Georgeville Arena here and park. Plans are, I've heard different rumors, but I've talked to some politicians. Plans are of maybe a GO station here, maybe a new condo development, maybe putting the arena in a condo, but they're definitely doing work on the arena. Thoughts of redoing this park. There's so much development that's happening here. There's so much development that's happening in St. Clair. So you know what? If you want to get in and get a chunk of land before it's too expensive, it's gone, you got to give me, Stu, a call. Go to SiouxSales.ca, see the pictures, the videos, and I will take you for a personal tour.
Attention now is on sheet 5. This is the Markle Johnson matchup. Markle trailing
No,
by
we
one,
want the reaction.
but has the hammer.
Oh, we're gonna go upstairs.
We need to go
now.
upstairs.
We're gonna go upstairs now so we can get your reaction.
Oh, I don't like that.
Like this either. I feel like this is jinxing it.
Trying to add another.
Jacqueline, come on.
Trying to get it to finish. Puts it side by side. So Johnson with the 1 point advantage. Going after the two red stones that are top of the 4 foot. Drives 1 back. Red sitting 1. Markle is a little concerned about the Yellowstone in the back 12. Markle with the out turn and just cleaning. Drives up the yellow, and the red is going to stay. Does it stay as a nibbler? That's the question. Doesn't look like it. So, Mallory Johnson. Makes the red go away. And then forces Markle to make the draw to force the extra end. And a reset. Didn't like what was in front of the rock. Now takes time. Good, important point. Just if you're not comfortable, reset. This one is curling. Got to hold it. Able to kick it out and roll behind cover. So for Markle, it's a draw to the 4. So taking center of the 8. Piece of the 4 will force an extra end. Last rock in the 8th, needing a piece of the 4. Sweepers really haven't attacked it. Now they go. Now they need the brakes to go on. Settles, and it will be there for one. And an extra end between Markle and Johnson.
When it comes to the game we love, having the right gear makes all the difference.
Goldline's new curling shoes and brooms are a game changer.
The shoes, unbelievably comfortable. And the brooms, lightweight and effective, giving you control on every sweep.
When I step onto the ice, I'm not just prepared, I look sharp.
Have you seen these shoes? They are a game changer.
And the brooms? Light as a feather.
It's a Goldline.
It's a Goldline.
It's a Goldline.
And is the choice of champions.
Peace of mind, the life you want, and financial independence. At World Financial Group, we believe your path to any of these goals is paved by financial knowledge. That's why our agents spend every day empowering individuals and families of all backgrounds with the knowledge to create the life they want. No matter your financial goals, WFG can help you own your future. Visit worldfinancialgroup.com to learn more.
And we're back picking up action here. We got free curling and extra end coming in this women's semifinal. Julia Markle drawing for her single point to the forefoot in that eighth. And the teams are just getting set now to begin the extra. Plenty on the line here. We already know that Emma Artichuk has won her semifinal. That was our feature matchup we were covering. If Julia Markle pulls off the steal and steals the win here, then our championship final later tonight will determine the team that will go to Switzerland for Canada. If the Americans, Team Johnson, pull this out with the hammer and Julia Markle is to lose, then it's already determined Emma Artichuk will win that spot and go on to represent her country at the Swiss Cup. Need to get a good setup here, and that's a pretty good start. Nice guard, nice and high.
Bailey Vidich is the lead and being asked to put this into the house.
Sweeper's really working on this one. Might be close to the guard. Does touch the guard and moves it off the center line, so it'll go back to where it was. The throw rock will come off. We are playing the no-tick rule here this week. And still plenty of rocks to come in this extra end, but not a great start there for the Americans. Sadie McCutcheon now going to try to get a second guard up.
Wants to be center line just above the house.
Team Markle representing the London Curling Club in London, Ontario.
Johnson will take another run at trying to get a rock into the house. Took a little more ice this time.
Looking over at the other men's semifinal. Final rock to come here in the eighth. The shot by Daniel Hosevar to send that game to an extra as well. Needs to make a hit and stick around. We have a live shot there of Team Garner. The shot is, or excuse me, I had it wrong who has hammer. It is a hit to sit to by Daniel Hocevar. And it's now Teamy Bear with the final rock coming in this 8th end. Wide open house, needs to make 1 rock to go to win. Reminder, if Teamy Bear wins this match, it will be the winners of the other semifinal, Team Garner, who will go to Switzerland representing Canada.
So Vidic overcompensated on her second rock and threw it through the house after coming up light and clipping the one that was in the no-tick zone. Markle goes into the house behind the 2 guards. Looks like there's some room, though.
Final rock there by Bear. You see the reaction by Team Garner. Teamy Bear are 6-3 winners in that semifinal by knocking out Daniel Hocevar. The only Canadian team left in the competition is Noah Garner. He will move on and represent Canada at the Swiss Cup in Bern, Switzerland later in the new year, end of February. This is actually the 2nd year in a row that Noah Garner has won that opportunity. He was on the Dobson squad that went last year. Congratulations to them. Great live shot there of their reactions with the win.
And they did it the hard way. They had to steal a couple of ends there to get the win in their own game.
Found themselves down 3-0 after 2 ends. Took 1 in the 3rd, stole 2 in the 4th, stole in the 5th, stole in the 6th, stole in the 7th. Handshakes, and now have won the chance to wear the maple leaf. I'm sure somewhere back there, Team Artichoke is doing the same, watching on to this last women's semifinal. Pretty good setup here for Team Markle with the rock in the top of the forefoot.
Johnson opens up the front, leaves, though, a guard. And Markle's going to put a guard right back.
Not sure if you can hear it through our mics, but the energy is increasing here behind the glass, Rob. Everybody's getting excited as it all comes down to this last game. Team Markle needing to steal. Evelyn Robert with a great guard there. Evelyn, a former Canadian junior silver medalist in Stratford a couple of years ago, playing for Emily Deschênes at the time. This team, Markle, their first year together as a foursome, but both Sadie and Evelyn and Julia and Scotia have both played together for upwards of 5 or 6 years, both of them. So plenty of time to work together as teammates.
Able to remove the one red, but left the other in the top of the 8-foot and add another guard to the mix.
Yeah, and what's really concerning about where those yellow stones are placed are both
Taking away
draws to the
alleyways,
forefoot are taken away. They're still available, but to make that draw, you'd have to go out that little bit wider, maybe a bit of a guess as to what the speed is.
Have to open up a pathway.
I would love to get any two rocks moving, open up one side of the sheet or the other for that final draw. Vice for the Americans is Gianna Johnson.
Oh. It jammed.
Actually, that red rock coming back got caught on the foot of the sweeper, and it was stopped as it made contact with the other guard.
So they're trying to decide where it would end up.
The teams are coming together. By rule, it comes to the non-offending team to decide what they believe would have happened had the jam not occurred. It was definitely going to make contact with the second rock. Whether it was going to jam right there or roll out of play is difficult to see from where we're sitting. Looks like the Americans calling for a technical timeout. Our official, Chris Johnson, coming out onto the sheet to survey the lay of the land.
It caught her foot as the rock was moving and stopped progress of it. So they have to decide exactly where they think it would have been. They feel it would have continued out.
Leaving that Yellowstone in play definitely would have been removed. Perhaps the decision agreed upon by the teams was just to remove the running stone from play, the stone that was burnt, and leave everything else as is.
I think really that's the right call too.
Yeah,
that red looked like it was stopped from going out of play.
It looked like the red was going out of play.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell exactly if it was burned before it made contact with the yellow or after. But I think that's a good resolution. Just the rock that was burned, remove it from play, leave everything else the way that it is. It unfortunately puts the Americans in a bit of a tough spot, but they were the ones that caused the infraction to begin with, so big chance here now for Julia Marco. Will try to throw a guard on their shot stone top 8 foot.
Need some finish.
Sadie McCutcheon on the inside. Now Scotia Maltman trying to get a little bit of extra curl. Needs to cross the center to cover their shot stone.
Gets to the line. So for Johnson now, she's trying to decide what's the easiest way.
And really important to keep the emotions in check. Of course, a terrible situation that happened on that last shot, with it being such an important point in the competition, the semifinals, an extra end. But really important that you just take a deep breath and you focus on executing your next 2 shots. If you make your next 2 shots, you win the game and none of it matters.
Johnson with the hammer. Goes red, yellow.
And jams it. So leaves a guard up. That red's still exposed in the 8 foot. So I think Julia Markle has to play a guard.
And then just leave the side of the button for Johnson.
Absolutely. They will call a timeout. Have the discussion if it's worth it or not. You could come into the rings and maybe play a tap to try and choke things off. Difficult to see with how much curl, if that angle is there. I think if it's me, you just toss up the guard.
I think you have to throw a guard, taking away any opportunity to go right after the red that is shot, and then leave Johnson the 4 foot.
Yep. Give her a draw to the 4 foot to win the semifinal, move on to the championship game. believe the coach for the Markle team is Jody McCutcheon. It's like quite a bit of a discussion, but the more I look at it, I think you're right, Rob. There might be some kind of tap where you could leave everything half buried, maybe choke off a bit more space, but in an extra end, we've seen sometimes the ice can get a little bit tricky later in games. Why force yourself into such a difficult shot just to maybe cut down an extra inch or two against the other team? I think you just toss up a guard, tell Ellery Johnson, make your draw to the forefoot. If you make it, good on you.
Taking the ice for the guard.
So final stone is out of Julia Markle's hand. It's up to her sweepers now. Scotia Maltman and Sadie McCutcheon on it early. Trying to get some curl here. Need to cover the shot stone. Need to at least split the center line. Last couple inches. Looks like they've got it there.
Looks pretty good.
Think that'll do well enough to cover the shot stone, and Broom goes down for the Americans. Ellery Johnson, it's a draw to the forefoot to determine which team will be moving on to the championship final here at the Canadian Junior Cup. Winner will face Emma Artichuk in the final.
Oh, deep breath.
You can see the big crowd gathering behind the sheet to watch this shot. Plenty of time ticking down on the clock, well over a minute to throw this. And here we go, final shot in the extra, need the forefoot to win. You see there the live reactions of Team Artichuk as they watch on. Sweepers are on this one the whole way. They need to go.
That's 15 and a half. It's got to be there.
Need the forefoot
got to be
to
there.
make it to the final. They're going, and they'll just get it far enough. You see the reactions there by Team Artichuk.
Okay.
Well, you have to trust your skip, trust your sweepers, and Team Johnson made the draw when they had to in the extra end to get the win.
Ellery Johnson comes out as the winners, and you see the reaction there by Emma Artichuk. Don't go anywhere. We're going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we're going to get live reactions from...
Hey guys, welcome to the Stu Sells team's brand new listing. So go to stewsells.ca, see all the photos, the videos, and give me Stu a call for a personal tour. Hey, Stu Sells followers. So everyone knows that the named Stu Cells and curling go together. And we are in the east end of the city. And you know what? The east end also has some amazing curling clubs. We're right in front of the Royal Canadian Curling Club. It is an awesome club. Bill's a great manager. Derek, who I curl with at High Park Club, does the ice here and is so talented. And actually, I had one of my Stu Cells tankers here, and it came down to an extra end against Stuart Thompson from Nova Scotia and Reed Crothers. It was an exciting game. And the East End also has the East York Curling Club. And then if you keep going up, you've got the Granite. So there's a lot on the East End. But you know what? Keep in mind the West End has lost a few clubs. So we need to get involved to get more curling clubs built because everyone loves to curl. So there's a site called the West End Curling Center, and they are trying to get a new club in the West End because we lost Weston, we lost St. George Curling Club. So now all we have in the West End is High Park, and then you've got Dixie's. You know what? We need more curling clubs. So go to their website, get involved, help get a new club. And you know what? If you ever want to learn to curl, give Stu a call.
The win by Ellery Johnson puts her in the final, but it also makes Emma Artichuk a very happy woman in her foursome. She's standing by with Matt Hall.
And I'm standing here live with the winning skip of our featured matchup, Emma Artichuk. Emma, I know it took a little bit longer than you would have liked. You were watching on pretty intently the last game, but with the win by the Americans, you are now the skip of Team Canada that'll be going to the Swiss Cup in Bern, Switzerland at the end of February. First thoughts on that?
I'm just super excited with the girls. They played great. They definitely made a lot of my shots for me. We're super excited to be going. And yeah, I just don't have words. I'm so excited.
Key moment in that semifinal, I think, is that seventh end. You guys found yourself in a little bit of trouble halfway through, end up giving up a steal of 2 after breaking out to a big lead early. What did you say to your team in between ends there to get ready for that last end?
They're actually the ones who keep me in a good headspace. And yeah, we just decided that we just needed to park that last end and then just really bring our momentum going forward if we wanted to finish off with a win.
Going into the championship final now, you will face the Americans, but that big load is off your shoulders now. Just a little bit about your mindset now going into that championship match later tonight.
Yeah, definitely a lot less pressure. And I think we're super excited, but we got to bring our emotions back down to hopefully win our last game.
Thank you, Emma. That'll do it for live coverage here from the Canadian Junior Cup, our semifinal draw. Come back tonight at 8:30.